continue on with my let's travel down the road to the SEC. You know, again, Alabama's, they've set the standard to what college football is and what it will be. They're single-handedly, Coach Saban has changed football in a way to where how the game's played, the speed of the game, clocks that are added to the game, how the playoff format has been added, and to get out of the BCS is all because of things that Alabama has done. Just running the college football world for the past 12 years. Now, with that being said, he has to own the fact of his team not being disciplined again this year. He has to own the fact that his offensive line is very sloppy and at center sloppier again this year. They have to own the fact that wide receivers don't get separation from the defenders again this year. And quarterbacks are running for their life and running in circles and circles, and Bryce Young is just a much more athletic guy than anybody else on the team. Athletically moving and fast twitch type of stuff. Now, Milroe could outrun Bryce, just flat out running. But we're talking about moving and running around in circles like Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Young was a little ridiculous at that.
Again, this year, the offensive line. Now, when we did a spot on them back a month ago, we talked about the corners deeply. You broke all them down.
Yeah, I thought they. Well, I think
they're still okay.
Yeah,
we worried about the front three, and that showed. Yeah. Supposedly, the pass rushers off the edge, Turner and company. Lawson, played there at the linebacker spot. I thought he was in on some good plays. I think he read the ball well.
I think he made 8 tackles. Yeah,
he didn't pee me off as much as Mosley would. Mosley would CJ just absolutely, he would blow some and Tawa.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna get started.
He made a lot of tackles.
He couldn't read the side of a barn. He read 60% of plays he'd read them wrong. He would hit the wrong space a lot.
Well, you can't.
But his coach put him in a bad spot because our Golden he couldn't line up bumper cars on a rail. He couldn't line up the T models at Six Flags. The ones that go on a rail.
Have a tough time. Huh?
He couldn't line them up.
Right,
and they're on a rail, like the ones at Lake Winnie. So now we get Kevin Steele. So to get into this game, Bama rushes for 107 and Texas rushes for 105. However, 249 passing and 255 passing for Bama. But right here, 10 penalties for 90 yards and 2 turnovers. That fact of 5 of 14 for third down conversions, those are things I like to look at. That'll do it. Actually, Texas had the ball longer than Alabama did.
They ran 13 more plays.
Yeah.
How many penalties did Texas have?
4. That's normal. Well, you can get 4 in a game. I'm going to go with that. You're a college. This is not some racky-tack high school team. That's just got kids running around. They're just supposed to be kind of professional. I mean, last year it was 15. So is the penalties better? Sure.
A little bit.
Yeah, better. But 2 penalties took 2 touchdowns off the board for Alabama. That cannot happen, and you're going to say we're going to make a run in our championship this year. Saban's going to win it and retire. That's a bunch of load of horse manure right down the road here at the pig farm. That's what it stinks like. And these preseason polls and putting these teams ranked up high, it just don't make any sense.
I agree with the weighting. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. They just did not – they look good, but they did not look elite. They didn't look like the Alabama of old last night.
Did you watch Saban's press conference after?
No, I did not.
I shared it on the page. And before I watched it, I commented what I'd summed up to say. Offensive line, not good. Penalties, that's on you, coach. You got to clean that up. You got to hold your coaches responsible. They got to hold these coaches accountable to make sure the kids are doing right. And, we're not getting a push up front. Dean, tell me about Quinn, what he looked like before and after the game.
Which one's that?
Quinn.
Yeah,
what he looked like before and after the game. He ain't paying attention. He's asleep.
No, I'm just thinking Quinn, your first name. Yours didn't get sacked all night.
So he looked the same the start and after, right?
Yeah, he looked great. I mean, he did not get sacked one time. Alabama got sacked 5.
That's the problem. From start of the game, how did the flow feel to you?
I'm going to be completely honest. At the first, when it was 7-3, I wasn't worried. When it got 13-3, and I told man, I'm like, this offense is dead in the water. Dead in the water. I said, but Milroe hadn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's just, how many times did they punt? I mean, I know they had 362 yards, but I just thought early second quarter, I thought the offense just looks bad. And Texas could have been up worse.
Yeah.
They dropped a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Worthy.
Yeah, I know.
Who's
a people.
Potential All-American dropped a touchdown pass. It could have been worse. And I told Matt, I was like, just there's something off with the offense.
Pretty much after halftime, the game was still, at half, we were down, but it still felt like they still had a chance. And then when he comes out and you throw a pick again, I thought, I thought he'd pull him at halftime.
Yeah. I thought he might. And I thought Simpson might come in or Buckner. Come to find out, Buckner's got a lot of experience, but I don't know that people want him in there. But just the deep balls, But I'm telling you guys, that's because you can't give him all day.
No.
You cannot give him all day. You can't give Sanders from Colorado all day. That's the point. That's why these guys are doing this. They had all day to throw.
Yeah, so how do you correct that? Well, you correct it by your defensive line getting a push up front. And Kirby would have guys running twist and angles off the line, making gaps for linebackers to shoot. I didn't see that.
No.
There was some times that they hurried him around and scooted him out of the pocket.
A little bit, not much.
I mean, I went back and watched the highlights again this morning just to make sure I missed something. I thought, well, maybe I missed something and I shouldn't be so disappointed. But I'm just really disappointed as a whole for the conference. I just don't,
I know we joke around about what he looked like before, but I don't know if they keep stats like that. But how many times did he even get hit? He didn't get hit much.
I can't.
He threw it 34 times. I wonder how many of those 11 incompletions he was hurried. Maybe 5.
4. Yeah.
4.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
But it wasn't hurries where he just got floored.
No, never. That's a problem.
So, I don't even know if he had to take off running.
Once. One time. In the first half.
You can't expect, and the tight end killed Alabama.
Yeah, he got in there behind them.
Killed them.
And the Mitchell guy, hey, he's salty dog, straight Georgia. I don't know how they lost him.
I don't know why he left Georgia.
Let me ask you this then. Let me play. I like devil's advocate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Better Bama or better Texas? Audience, please play along here. Better Bama, better Texas quarterback play.
Texas.
Okay. Better Bama or Texas on, I feel like I'm being an eye doctor, J.R. McKenzie. Better 1 or better 2? I kind of like 1, okay. Better C or, an eye doctor.
F, no. Check this card.
Bama, Texas receivers.
Texas by far.
Okay.
Last night.
Defensive front.
Texas.
And I mean, offensive front too. I mean, their quarterback left the game the way he came into the game.
Texas. No, and the running backs might have been the same in the secondary.
Yeah, I'll go equal.
I don't know.
D-backs, I'll go Bama. I think and I know they're going to get, because they lost the game, and people are going to say, "Wow, but what about?" Yeah, but Arnold and those guys.
They're good. They're good.
They'll be fine.
But you can't cover. You can't cover A.D. Mitchell all night. I mean, and it wasn't like he was behind him by 27 yards.
Downs got burnt pretty bad once.
Yeah, he did. But we saw the play, and he just stood there. He stood there flat-footed.
He looked down inside and watched the guy. What happened? Worthy come over the top on a tall slant, and the guy, the inside, the slot guy, kind of made a little. Right, he got out right behind in a deeper slant, kind of went out behind the linebackers.
Yeah, he froze,
and he kind of was looking at him. Mm-hmm. Well, the other corner on the other side would play as he's coming across. The slot guy's coming to him. The Bama guy kind of sucks to him. Well, Downs kind of stepped down. As soon as a good quarterback, as soon as you were seeing him make that step down, his head duck.
Oh, yeah.
Got him. He's burnt. Touchdown. And he turned and run at him, and he nearly got to him.
I realized from watching that play right there defensive backs can't hesitate for a second.
Not against.
They can't freeze for a split second.
See, Quinn didn't play a whole lot last year. Remember, he got hurt.
He got hurt.
So there was we forgot. Guys, remember, he was number one pick, stud Hoss. Was at Ohio State, got a big money deal, left high school early, and then wound up down here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was great. He's great.
Number one in the country. This guy won the Elite 11 camps. He won the big country trophy, some kind of quarterback trophy up there where he's from. We knew coming in when he came down and they were going to get him at Texas. We thought, well, that's going to be great for the SEC. We'll have another good quarterback in the conference because after we lose all ours, once Bennett, if Georgia wins it again, which they did, Ewers coming in, he'll be in an SEC. He'll play 1 year next year and then he'll be gone.
Yeah.
So, man, who that's going to be? Dart or Daniels or the Rogers kid. Those were a lot. We're looking around the SEC.
Dart's pretty good.
Richardson left, so we knew. Yeah. And he's terrible. I don't know how he made a number one draft.
He's starting today.
He threw for I
didn't think he did well at Florida last night or last year. I didn't think he did well.
Terrible. But so, the Texas or Bama pick their eye doctor choice brought to you by Cherokee Eye Clinic. Mm-hmm. Texas wins in all phases.
They win the eye test.
Bama tie in some of those categories. So now looking ahead, now Bama's going to have South Florida this week. I'm not worried about that game, but looking on down the road.
Now, let me say one thing before you move on from that. It's about Alabama's receivers. I mean, you talked about that.
They can't separate.
I don't think they're elite like Judy.
No.
Smith.
You'd be foolish to say they was.
Cooper, Ridley, Meechie.
How could you say they
or
was?
Mechie. Or there's no way. They're just not. I'm not saying they're not good.
But, yeah, that's not being rude to say that they're not. I mean, good grief, who is?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's getting mad because you said I wasn't as good as Henry Ruggs. I mean, come on.
Well, that's – golly, Georgia's got UAB the next week. When are they playing?
They play South Carolina this week.
Then they got UAB after. South Carolina who? What's that matter?
Well, I'm just saying South Carolina's better than UAB.
I guess.
I don't know. They may not be.
Yeah.
But no, they're not elite receivers. They're not great. I mean, they're good, but they're not elite.
Well,
they're not A.D. Mitchells or Xavier Worthies.
To say, we'll just be put in check here. Hey, it is what it is. Bama don't have those. What it is, we're even people that are the closet Bama fans that some of them call themselves Auburn fans or Georgia fans, but they're closet Bama fans because they love watching them because they know they like to watch teams win. And anybody that loves the game of football, you love to see good players, even though you're, I'm from Cedar Bluff, but you don't think I don't love to watch Jacob play or
we're still Cedar Bluff fans.
Or when when Cody was there. Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna go watch a good player.
Well, yeah, I mean we pull for them and we love a good play. So I think what I'm saying is a lot of the nation has just become accustomed to Bama just wins it or they're in it. And they got these stud receivers, on the field the past 3 years just all together, Meechie and Waddle and all them guys. Smith was all together. I didn't even
name Waddle.
And Cooper. They were together there at one point, all together at one time. Nearly.
Oh, I know.
So when you see that type of football and it's just like plug and play and you just need a guy that can throw it up because these guys can just throw it somewhere and they're going to go get it. That's gone. They're not there. Now, do they exist in college football? Yeah, there's a few scattered around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
mean, the two good ones, which we mentioned in the summer, were at Texas. We knew those two guys were going to be good.
Worthy and Mitchell.
Please go back and find the special we did on. We talked about this.
Okay. I mean, this is a dumb question because I know what the answer is going to be, but Alabama's receivers are not as good as Worthy and Mitchell.
No. I mean, just go look up their 24/7 sports, stuff, and you'll find out.
But
ain't no way.
No, there's not a Ridley, there's not a Cooper, there's not and we like Bond, and a lot of people pull for Bond.
Brooks, I ain't even seen him. He's on the sideline.
Brooks is hurt. Burton is pretty good.
He's okay.
He's not bad. Prentice had the best game last night. But they're still not that elite receiver that Alabama's had. I don't care what anybody says. No. They're not.
No.
They're not they're not Williams, they're not Mechie, they're not Ridley, Ruggs, Waddle, Smith. Cooper.
No, but but who is? Nobody. Nobody is. They I mean, Georgia ain't had receivers like that. The Knights are going to the courtesy. I don't. If you catch all week, you need to come up and watch Boo Carter play at Bradley. Okay. What's up, Mason? Let's be realistic. The SEC is being affected by the NILs is changing the landscape, and no more dismissal non-conference opponents. The playing field is getting level more and more. And what did I say before we come on the show?
Say that again. I'm getting a message from Logan Todd Brooks.
He's on here. So what did I say before we come on?
Oh, you said that they're just
portal and
yeah, I mean, it's hurt them. I mean, they don't seem to be a cut above everybody else. Early on, I know we're only 2 games in, but how could you?
Well, where's all the late receivers? They're not piled up at Bama.
No. I don't know.
But they're not really piled up anywhere.
Well, Tennessee's got a couple of good guys. I
think Colorado's got a good one, too.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, hello.
Yeah.
Number 1 coming out of high school. There's one.
Tennessee's got, supposedly, we don't know. I haven't seen they've got 3, supposedly, that are better than the guys that play for Alabama.
Yeah, and we hadn't seen great out of them either.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, I mean, they've played cupcakes. Seem like they ought to have 200-yard receiving games. You would think.
Look like they've been trying. I don't know. He threw for 200. Let's just see the Tennessee stats. Oh, yeah.
Tennessee, Austin Peay. And we just said this earlier. They didn't try to put them away early at all. I mean, he threw for 228, 2 touchdowns. They had 228 rushing, which Wright was your leader. He almost 120 rushing. And Keaton and McCoy.
Brew McCoy.
Were they were the top receivers. Castles had a touchdown, and of course McCoy had a 20-yard long, but this Castle kid had a 43-yard long on receiving, 228 yards, total receiving. But what surprised me, guys, Austin Peay rushed for 260 yards.
See, I don't understand that.
Y'all do know that Austin Peay is who, when I was at Jacksonville, that's who we played for homecoming, and I took Marcus to the homecoming. And Jacksonville back then, when they just went the year, well, I'm sorry, they was good this year. We played for the national championship. We beat Austin Peay 30-0. I mean, it's just who you schedule for homecoming.
Austin Peay. Well, I don't know what's going on with Tennessee with that yesterday.
3 for 12 on third downs, 456 total yards for the day.
Is it possible that they just wasn't ready for the game? Austin Peay rushed for 260 yards.
Yeah, 260. They had the ball for 40 minutes.
That's a bad stat. Is Austin Peay for real? I mean, in their league?
The Governors. No. Have you ever seen their logo? It looks like the Monopoly guy. I'm not trying to.
I'm worried about Tennessee now.
Well, it's not just I'm worried. I'm just saying in general. And we'll get into some of these other games, and we'll probably get back to SEC, and you'll hear my tone of voice will go back to, I'm just not impressed with the conference in general.
So far.
And I don't know if we're just not – this the crap games.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it just means more slogan has just really taken over. It's had a physical effect on the teams to where they're just not fired up unless they're playing either each other or they're playing for the national championship. Does that make sense?
You could be right on that. Well, I mean, most of them haven't played. I mean, we've got Alabama's had a tough game. Georgia has not. Tennessee has not yet. They do have one Saturday. Florida has. A&M has. Arkansas has not. Kentucky has not. Missouri has not.
The ones that have lost.
South Carolina has. They lost.
Bama lost.
A&M lost. Florida lost. LSU lost.
The Pac-12 is 17-1, and this is their last year.
Are they going to do good enough that they'll say, you know what, we're just going to keep the Pac? I know that's over with.
Yeah, well, the AD should have got money deals to keep them on TV.
Yeah,
they could.
They don't care about it. I mean, they're just not.
No, they'd rather worry about